So here we want to look at division of number bases, and we have about 3 examples here to solve together. So let's look at them. So we're going to have solution. So number 1, we have 2115 in base 7 divided by 12 in what? In base 7. So now we are going to be converting them to what? To base 10. We'll convert them, each of them, to base 10, perform our operation in base 10, then convert back to what? To base 7. Okay, that is the easiest method. So let's convert each of them to base 10. So we're going to have 2115 in base 7. Now the place values here are what? 0, 1, 2, 3. So this will give us 2 times 7 raised to the power of 3 plus 1 times 7 raised to the power of 2 plus 1 times 7 raised to the power of 1 plus 5 times 7 raised to the power of what? 0. Okay, so this will give us 2 times 7 raised to the power of 3 is what? Is 343 plus 1 times 7 raised to the power of 2 is what? 49 plus 1 times what? 7 plus 5 times what? 1. And this will give us what? This will give us 686 plus 49 plus 7 plus 5. So when we add 686 plus 49 plus 7 plus 5, it will give us 747. This is in what? In base 10. So we have succeeded in converting 2115 in base 7 to what? To base 10. So let's convert the second number to base 10. So we're going to have our 12 in base 7 will give us, this is 0, 1, 1, that is their place values. So we'll have 1 times 7 raised to the power of 1 plus 2 times 7 raised to the power of what? 0. Okay, so that will give us what? 1 times what? 7 plus 2 times what? 1. And that will give us 7 plus what? 2. That will give us 9 in what? In base 10. So we have succeeded in converting each of the numbers to base 10. So we're going to perform our division in base 10. Okay, we're going to be dividing the two numbers. After that, we convert the answer we get to what? To base 7. Okay, so let's use long division for that. So we're going to have 747 divided by what? By 9. Okay, 74 divided by 9 will give us what? 8. 8 times 9 will give us what? 72. So what is remaining? We have 7, we have 2. So 27 divided by 8 divided by 9 will give us what? Will give us 3. 3 times 9 will give us what? 27. So we have 0, 0. So there's nothing remaining there. So 747 divided by 9 will give us what? 83. In what? This is in base 10, this is in base 10, so this is in base 10. Okay, so now since we have gotten our answer in base 10, we are going to convert back, because the division we have is they are all in base 7. So we are going to convert whatever we have to what? To base 7. Okay, so let's convert it to base 7. So if you don't know how to convert number from base 10 to other base, you can look at our video on that. We have done tutorial on that, so you can refer back to that video. Okay, so let's convert from base 10 to what? To base 7. So we're going to have what? We'll divide all through by what? By 7. So we'll have 83 divided by what? 7. That will give us 11 remainder what? 6. 11 divided by 7 will give us what? 1 remainder what? 4. 1 divided by 7 will give us 0 remainder what? 1. So you count upward, and that will give us 146 in what? This is now in base 7. Okay, so that means that 2115 in base 7 divided by 12 in base 7 will give us 146 in what? In base 7. So this is the required answer. Okay, so let's look at number 2 question. So we have 1423 in base 5 divided by what? By 24 in what? In base 5. Okay, So we're going to be converting each of these numbers to what? To base 10. That is the simplest method to use when you are performing division under number basis. So let's convert this to base 10, convert this to base 10. So we're going to have 1423 in base 5. Their place values are what? 0, 1, 2, 3. So we're going to have 1 times 5 raised to the power of 3 plus 4 times 5 raised to the power of what? 2 plus 2 times 5 raised to the power of 1 plus 3 times 5 raised to the power of what? 0. And this will give us 1 times what? 1, 2, 5 plus 4 times what? 25 plus 2 times what? 5 plus 3 times what? 1. Okay. So let's continue. Let's continue here. So let me clean this one. So we are going to have what? That will give us 125 plus 25 plus 125 plus 100, sorry, plus 100 plus what? Plus 10 plus 3. And that will give us what? That will give us 238. This is in base 10. Okay. So we're going to be converting 12 in base 7 to what? To base 10 as well. So we'll have 24 in base 5. We're going to be converting 24 in base 5 to what? To base 10 as well. So we'll have 24 in base 5. That will give us their place values are what? 0, 1. So we're going to have 2 times 5 raised to the power of 1 plus 4 times what? 5 raised to the power of what? 0. And that will give us what? 2 times what? 5 plus 4 times what? 1. Okay. So this will give us 10 plus what? 4. And that will give us 14. Okay. This is in base 10. So I'm going to be using short division for this. Okay. Now I'm going to be dividing the two numbers I have under base 10, okay. So that will give us what? That will give us 238, which is in base 10, divided by 14 in base 10. And that will give us what? 17. If you divide this, you're going to have what? 17 in what? In base 10. Okay. So now that I've gotten my answer in base 10, I will convert back to the required base, which is what? Which is base 5. Okay. So let's convert this to base 5. Let's convert our answer to base 5. So we are going to have, that will give us 17 divided by 5. That will give us what? 3 remainder 2. 3 divided by 5. That will give us 0 remainder what? 3. So you count upward and that will give us 32 in what? In base 5. So this is in base 5. So we have converted our answer to what? To base 5. So that means that 1423 in base 5 divided by 24 in what? In base 5 will give us 32 in what? In base 5. Okay. So this is our answer. So please, I want you to try the last one. Okay. Try the number 3, which is what? Which is 2173 in base 9 divided by what? 16 in what? In base 9. So try this and tell me the answer on the comment section. Thank you so much and God bless.